Most men will spend their entire lives wearing the wrong fragrance, not because they have bad taste, but because nobody ever told them the rules. Old money families understood something that new money never learns. The right fragrance doesn't announce you, it leaves a memory. Today I'm giving you the complete tier list. 7 fragrances, ranked from your first step into old money scent, all the way to the investment pieces worn by men who have already arrived. And for each one, I'll give you a budget alternative that gets you 90% of the way there, because refinement is about taste, not always price. Stay until the end, because the investment tier contains one fragrance that has been worn by 3 generations of the same aristocratic family. And most people have never heard of it. Entry tier. Fragrance number 1, YSL Eau de Parfum. This is where most men should begin their old money fragrance journey, and the reason is simple. It has the DNA of luxury without the price tag that excludes most people. Sage, ginger, and a clean cedar base. It smells like a man who reads in a leather chair and owns property he doesn't talk about. It is not a statement fragrance, it is a standard, and that distinction matters enormously in old money circles. Wear it to the office, wear it to lunch, wear it when you want to be the most quietly impressive person in the room. Fragrance number 2. And I want to acknowledge something before I say this name. In certain fragrance circles, Ralph Lauren is considered too mainstream for old money. Those people are wrong. Polo Ralph Lauren Blue has been in the wardrobes of prep school alumni, yacht club members, and New England families for decades. It is heritage. It is not trying to impress you, and that is precisely why it belongs in this tier. Melon, suede, and sandalwood. Effortless, never aggressive. At under £50, this is the entry point that no one should skip. If you own nothing else on this list, start here, then build upward. Mid-tier. And we begin with one of the most important bottles in this entire list. Acqua di Parma Colonia, founded in Parma, Italy in 1916. Over 100 years of the same formula. That alone tells you something. Old money does not chase trends. Old money buys things that existed before their grandparents were born and will exist long after they are gone. Acqua di Parma is that fragrance. Citrus, lavender, and rosewood. It smells like a villa in Tuscany that has been in the same family for 4 generations. This is the fragrance you wear when you want to smell like you belong somewhere most people can only visit. Fragrance number 4, and this one requires a different kind of conversation. Tom Ford Noir is not a daytime fragrance. It is not a boardroom fragrance. It is the fragrance you wear when the sun goes down and the room changes. Black rose, oud, saffron, and dark woods. Complex, unhurried, commanding. Men who wear this do not need to speak first. They do not need to be the loudest. They simply need to exist in the room, and people notice. This sits at the lower end of the investment tier in terms of price, but the impression it makes belongs in a different category entirely. Fragrance number 5, the bridge between mid and investment tier. Dior Homme Intense. There is a reason this fragrance has never been discontinued, never reformulated beyond recognition, never replaced. Iris, ambrette, and vetiver. On paper, it reads like a traditional masculine scent. On skin, it reads like quiet sophistication that took decades to develop. Old money men often describe fragrance in terms of how it makes others feel, not how it makes the wearer feel. Dior Homme Intense makes the people around you feel that they are in the presence of someone who has made good decisions their entire life. That is the highest compliment a fragrance can receive. Investment tier. And I want you to pay attention here, because this is where old money fragrance separates entirely from everything else. Penhaligon's Blenheim Bouquet, created in 1902, originally blended for the Duke of Marlborough, a man who lived in a palace and hunted on land that stretched to the horizon. Lemon, black pepper, pine, and musk. It smells like the morning after a fox hunt before anyone has spoken, when the house still belongs to the previous century. This is the fragrance I mentioned at the beginning, the one worn by 3 generations of the same aristocratic family. It is not famous. It does not advertise. You will never see it in a department store display. But in certain rooms, old rooms, important rooms, the moment someone catches this scent, they know exactly who they are dealing with. That is the power of a fragrance with a century of heritage behind it. And the final fragrance, number 7, investment tier. Givenchy Gentleman. A fragrance built on the same principles as the great French fashion houses: iris, spice, and dry woods. Restrained, impeccably composed. The scent of a man who dressed well before it was something people photographed. Givenchy understood something that most fragrance houses have forgotten, that true elegance is not loud. It does not compete. It simply exists and lets the room adjust around it. This is a fragrance for the man who has stopped trying to impress people and started simply living well. There is a difference, and the people worth impressing always notice it. If you own one investment tier fragrance, let it be this one. That is your complete old money fragrance tier list. Entry tier, where you begin: YSL Y and Ralph Lauren Blue. Taste without the investment. Mid-tier, where identity forms: Acqua di Parma, Tom Ford, Dior Homme. Fragrances that tell the room something about who you are. Investment tier, where legacy lives: Penhaligon's and Givenchy Gentleman fragrances that existed before you and will exist long after. Every fragrance on this list, and every budget alternative, is linked in the description below. If you want to go deeper, I've put together a complete written guide covering how to build a full old money fragrance wardrobe from scratch. That link is also in the description. And if someone sent you this video, they want you to smell better, subscribe, because next week we are doing the same for women. I am Lady Windsor. Elevate your world.